Hello people of the world and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss and today is another filming day, which means that I will dress up according to societal standards, which means that I will wear something pretty on top and pajamas at the bottom. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit like. Why would you hit like before even watching the video? But who knows, just hit like. I mean, if you're here, might as well hit like. Might as well leave evidence of the fact that you were here. I'm a writer, I'm a reader, I'm a science fiction and fantasy junkie, so if you're into that kind of stuff, go ahead and hit subscribe. I mean, hit like and hit subscribe. These are the only two things that you need to do, really. Like, that's it. That's all I ask from you. It's a new day, it's a new video, and today I'm gonna be hitting you with the Poppy War book tag. This tag was originally created by Krisha, Nandini and V, so I'm gonna link their blog posts in the description down below. Make sure that you go and check them out. If you guys don't know, Nandini and Krisha are hosting the Poppy Warathon, which is a 2-month-long read-along. In September we read the Poppy War, and in October we are supposed to read the Dragon Republic. Now ideally I would have started reading the Dragon Republic, but it's kind of at home, and as you can tell from the background, I'm not at home. But anyway, if you are at home and if you have the Dragon Republic, you can hop on to the read-along, and in fact you can, if you still haven't read the Poppy War, you can still join the read-along. We have a Discord and it's basically a lot of fun. Last month Nandini hosted, it was the end of last month, yeah, Nandini hosted an amazing Twitter chat around the Poppy War, and I'm sure that we are gonna have one for this month as well, I guess. I don't know, let's see. But anyway, the three of them, Nandini, Krisha and V, they have come up with a Poppy War book tag, and they basically tagged everybody who wants to do it, which includes your girl. So without further ado, let us dive into the questions of the tag. And don't forget to check out their blogs. All three of them are phenomenal bloggers. All three of them are like three of my favorites. So go ahead, check out their blogs. All links in the description down below. I am smiling a lot for a book which made me cry a lot. So let's get started. I actually opened V's blog and I'm gonna read the questions that they put out on their blog. So I'm going to read out the questions. It's basically like every tag prompt is based on a character, so this should be pretty interesting. It's actually pretty cool because like I think they have named every single prompt, they have basically named the Poppy War, I think, or like the Dragon Republic. Moving on, the first prompt is Rin. Who's your favorite anti-heroine? Now I actually see what we did there, because it would be Rin. I actually haven't read too many anti-heroines, so I'm not really sure. Have I read any? But I think like the first one that comes to mind is Rin. Rin is not the perfect character. She is not a morally good character. She has a lot of issues that need to be addressed. And that is the best part. This is the appeal of the character. I do believe that, however, if I had to pick an anti-hero, it would be Yagami Light from Death Note, because I think he is the best written like anti-hero ever. I genuinely love that guy. Or is he like an anti-villain? Is he a villain? He's basically the most morally great. He is the most intriguing protagonist I've ever read. But like, yeah, if I'm specifically talking about like a woman, then that would probably be Rin. Prompt number 2. Chosen one, schmozen one, which character deserves more spotlight in your favorite series? Altair from We Hunt the Flame. Altair did get a point of view chapter. Is that a spoiler? But not really. I mean, I'm not talking about what happens in the point of view chapter. Altair definitely deserves whole POV to himself. He was, by the way, he's from We Hunt the Flame. Did I say that? I don't know if I said that. Anyway, he is one of the most interesting characters in We Hunt the Flame. I definitely really liked Zafira and Nasir. I will call him Nasir. I don't care. But like, it's Nasir, guys, it's Nasir. I think Altair just had so much to contribute to the plot, and he was just like, he really kept me guessing. I really did not know what his deal was. Mild spoiler alert, because I'm not telling you what happens, I'm kind of telling you what doesn't happen. I thought that he would end up like betraying the people, but then other stuff happens, and now I really want to know what happened in the sequel. We Free the Stars coming out in January 2021 now, people. So yeah, I do think that Altair could get like a lot more spotlight than he got. I mean, after Nasir and Afira, he was the most important person in the book, but I think he could carry his own book all by himself. The next prompt. No stone left unturned. Who's your favorite fictional genius? I'm trying to think of how many truly smart fictional people I've read. See, the thing is, I need to read a lot more books. I haven't read enough. But from what I have read, I think I would choose Kaz Brekker, because I really admired the guy's brains. I thought that he was extremely smart. Or maybe it's just because that I like his character type. Not a good guy at all, like also like extremely smart. But if I had to choose a lovable genius, I think it would be Jiang. I think he is extremely wise and extremely like funny. And yes, it would be like from the lovable point of view, it would be Jiang, and like comfort character point of view, and then from the jerk point of view, it would be something like Asbreaker. The next prompt, the epic descent. What makes you empathize with your favorite morally grey character? There are a lot of morally grey characters that I like. Cersei Lannister, Yagami Light, Rin. I don't know how many of them I can truly empathize with. What makes a character morally grey is what makes them interesting, and what makes them interesting is their motivation. And if a character is morally grey, then usually their motivation starts off at least as something positive. It later on develops to be something completely terrible. Yagami Light, I'm looking at you. It starts off as something positive, and that positivity is something that I can empathize with. And I don't think that I think this answer could be universal, because what else are you going to empathize with? Genocide? When it comes to Rin's character, I think I really empathized with her need to constantly prove herself because of her origins. So because she was constantly so insecure about where she has come from, she's constantly trying to outdo her own self, not in the healthiest way possible. So I think that is something that a lot of us can understand. The next question. Mad Gods. I was about to read it as Mad Dogs. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Mad Gods and their maddening power. What's your favorite novel about gods and their powers? Bonus points for dark fiction. No dark fiction. My favorite book of all time featuring gods is always gonna be Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. Like, I can't help it. Like, I'm sure, I hope I find like adult fantasy, but this is just gonna be like a childhood favorite. This is always gonna be, there's always gonna be a bias. I'm sure I will find better stories. I mean, the Poppy War was definitely, when it comes to like literature, Poppy War is definitely like miles ahead of Percy Jackson. But just like my bias is there, Percy Jackson is always gonna be up there on top because childhood. The next question, Immortals and their battles. What's your favorite battle scene? There were a couple of battles in The Savior's Champion by Jenna Morassi. I don't know if you guys know about this book, but there was a battle between the main character and one of the antagonists. Duh. That was a pretty well written battle. Like, I remember that was actually pretty well done. It was like a one-on-one battle to the death. In fact, that was pretty cool. The next question, a trio to reckon with. Who is your favorite fictional trio? Again, I'm going to childhood books, throwing it way back. Would be Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. I think like this is becoming a Percy Jackson tag instead of a Poppy War tag. But hey guys, I promise, like, I'm gonna read more books, I promise. And I'm gonna have like a more varied selection of books and answers for you at some point. I basically loved Percy Jackson growing up, as you can tell. Percy, Grover, and Annabeth were friendship goals for me. I really loved like the dynamics that they had and like how they kind of played off of each other. Annabeth was my favorite character ever. I mean, I just loved how sassy she was and how smart she was. Oh, she can be my favorite fictional genius. Not really, it's still Jiang and it's still Kaz Brekker, because I personally really liked both of them. Like Jiang, I've mentioned it plenty of times on Twitter. One time on Twitter is that Jiang is like my comfort character because like I love how wise he is. So anyway, where was I? Oh yes, favorite fictional trio would definitely be the Percy Jackson trio. And finally, the prompt is companions for the darkness. I actually don't know who I'm gonna tag, but I guess I'm gonna be tagging Fana and I'm gonna be tagging Divya. And I know that I've recently tagged Gargi in something, but I'm gonna tag Gargi again. So I know that 3 of them are definitely tagged. I don't know if I'm gonna tag more people, but if you like the Poppy War and if you want to talk about the Poppy War and if you want to do this fun tag and if you have more books that you can talk about unlike me, go ahead and do this tag because it was honestly so much fun for me. So that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, go ahead, hit like. Leave a comment down below if you like the Poppy War. Go ahead, do this tag. You human, you have been tagged. And yeah, bye.